Hello, welcome back to Mrs Hewitt's Spelling at Home. This is your Key Stage 2 word study session. We're going to look at a root word today and build some words around that, as always. This one today has got something very cool. I think so anyway, but then I love words. So see if you can, hopefully you will also think it is very useful. The root morpheme we're going to be looking at today is this one, fect. And this comes from the Latin facere, meaning to make or to do. Okay, so all our words today are going to have fect in them. I'm going to show you the grid. There's a lot of words to build. You can see lots from far away. There's lots and lots of things. So you might need to pause the video for quite a while. I'm expecting you to get quite a long list of words. Obviously, I never write them all because my paper isn't big enough. But I've picked out some of the main ones that I can talk to you about afterwards. And hopefully we can, again, you can have a think about what you know and see if you can figure out some of the meanings as well. So get ready to pause the video for the grid. Okay, so let's have a look now at some of our words that we can make. So I'm going to go through at the start. At the top there you can see that I have put sort of a couple there that are to do with per at the start. Now per means thoroughly, okay, or for every, for all, for each, but basically like a lot. So if we have perfectly, think about doing something completely, that's making very thoroughly. So in fact, that would link in with what we think about going, oh yes, it's perfect. So we've got perfectly as the adverb, and then we've got perfection. And again, it's the ion there added to the fect. So we have a tion, shun, so perfection. Okay, so we've got perfectly, perfection. You could also have perfected, perfects. What else could we have? Perfectionist. So you had lots of other words there coming from the perfect root. Next one we've got there is prefect. So have a think about what we know about the prefix pre and adding that onto fect and how that has worked to make kind of meaning that we know what the word prefect means today. How has that worked? Have a think. Yeah, so basically, think about pre meaning before or getting ready. So getting ready to make it. If you think about the prefect being somebody that kind of takes command of something, is in charge of something, it's almost that sense of being above or before. So that's where the notion of prefect comes from, okay? And then we've got lots of different words with infect. So we've got infected, infectious, disinfectant. So again, in meaning literally in, so you know, making within. So if you infect somebody, you make something inside them, don't you? So we've got infected, the past tense with the ed there, infectious, and again remember that us, but it's not just, it's got that ear, so it's a bit like shun, isn't it? Infection, but it's with the us, in like infection, infectious. Okay, so again, you'd have the shin there for infection. And then we've got infectant, and we've got a disinfectant. So what, thinking about that dis, you know, what would disinfectant actually do? Yeah, it would undo it, wouldn't it? So again, dis being a bit like d, being the opposite of. So an infectant is something that is infected, it infects you. So a disinfectant actually takes that infection away. So when you clean things with disinfectant, it's because you're making it uninfectious. You're taking the dirtiness away, the bit that could go inside you, yeah, the dirt. Right, this is the bit that is very cool. So there are two words in English that lots and lots of people get muddled up. Lots of adults, lots of very, very clever people still get these two words muddled up. Okay, so you can have, and this is what we're going to look at, we've got the affect and the effect. Okay, so we've got affect and effect. So you could say somebody's affecting something. So I don't know, the global warming is affecting the planet. And you could say, what is the effect and what is the effect of global warming on the planet? But they are different words, okay? And one is a noun and one is a verb. And if you don't know how to remember it, it's all to do with where they came from originally and to do with the meanings of those prefixes. So you can see here, we've got affect, okay? Now, this af and this if, you can know that we have that assimilation, don't we, where we have the letter changes to an F because it is sort of a bit like, remember, dis changes to diff, like in difficult comes from difficult. So actually this af comes from the prefix ad, meaning to. Okay, so the affecting is the noun because it's to make something happen. Okay, so the af is the to, you're doing something to it. Okay, so we are affecting it and we are affected by it because it is the doing of it, to do it. Okay, now the effect, the E here, the F, okay, that has a similarity from X, meaning out. So that is like the result of something. So the effect is like the X-fect. So it's the bit coming out of the doing. Okay, I think that is really cool. I'd never even thought about the why affect and effect. I just knew affect was a verb, effect was the noun, but now I know why. It's because of the meanings of that af meaning add and the F meaning X. So that is, I think, why words are just amazing. But anyway, so you can remember, if you think, oh, I need to write affected or I need to write affecting, think of it. Am I doing it to it? Or is it the result of something? Is it the thing coming out? Because if it is, it's the X-fect, okay? The X factor. It's the X-fect. So you can maybe remember that. We've got lots of words following those pathways. So we've got affecting, we've got the effects, we've got the effectiveness. So how good is the outcome? And then at the bottom there, we've got ineffectual. So ineffectual, if it's not very effective, it doesn't do much, doesn't have a very big result, that's that in there being the opposite. So it is not very effective. It doesn't actually do anything. It's a bit ineffectual. Okay, hopefully all these lessons are not ineffectual. They are very effective because they help you learn how to spell and use words. So it's your turn now to go and write sentences. Please try and use affect and effect and use them correctly. Okay, that's your big test for today. And remember that. And you may be able to point out other people doing it wrong, because in your life you will find lots of people using those words wrong. Right, that is it for today, and I will see you back tomorrow. Bye.